Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and welcome to Brick Nottingham, where today we'll be filling in another patch of undeveloped land, namely this square in between the hospital and the Grand Emporium and Casino. It's long been undeveloped and had that SSP wagon on it the whole time, but that's going to have to move because we're going to do something low rise on that. Well, this end of the city is a bit of a mess at the moment, with a bit of table showing, Drillex's drilling machine out from its position against the wall, and a few other things out of place. That is partially because I'm planning to put in a facade kind of building behind Drillex's drill machine, maybe having to move that forward just so this portion of wall can be filled up and look really good, as well as having that action scene. The super secret police riot van is also sort of lurking in this neck of the woods, kind of opposite their base at the top of the modular police station, of course. So they'll have to move with their lovely riot gear and number on the roof and so on to somewhere else for what we're doing today. Now, the plan is to do something quite low rise, because I really don't want to block with a great big tall building our view of the Grand Emporium and Casino, or block any of the windows to the side of the hospital, of course, because then we'll have to hide all of the views of our lovely scenes, like the proctologist who really enjoys his job far too much. One of my favourites. Yeah, something low rise, but something very typical of a city centre. And it also occurred to me I didn't have enough buses in my city. Yes, we've got a double-decker bus over here. Yes, we have another single-decker bus over here. And we've also got the tourist bus, open-topped, of course, with all of you from around the world represented on its top deck. But yeah, surely, in a city of this size, we need even more. Good. So at the build desk, you've probably guessed exactly what I'm going to do today. Well, you probably already saw the thumbnail for the video, so you definitely know we're going to be building a bus station in that spot. I figure it's perfect, really, just for a really urban area with some extra vehicles in, some low-rise kind of structures, but nothing too huge that's going to block those views. So this is my base plate for the area, which is going to be completely covered, so it could be any colour. It's relatively appropriate. But I'm going to start, before building on there, with the buses themselves. And I could have gone for the sort of dark azure ones that are part of the new train station, but no one seems to be selling those for a reasonable amount on their own. I don't want to buy two sets just for that. So I decided to go old school and buy some yellow buses, really old ones from the set 7641 City Corner in 2009, which was a set that was reissued in 2013, and it was very popular. And as a result, there are lots of these buses going around. And what I quite like about them is that they look a bit kind of tatty, a bit down at heel. And essentially that means that they're very appropriate for a slight contrast to my lovely new red buses. I figure that just like real Nottingham, Brick Nottingham could have two rival bus companies, one that's slightly sort of longer distance and kind of a bit, well, lower quality, if you see what I mean. So I think this yellow bus that does look a little worse is perfect as a result. So the set comes with quite a few stickers, which I like very much. We've got the number 244 on the front. We've got 244 on the side near the door, just to remind you. One for transport, which is the cargo company of the city. Octane, that's not very straight at all. That one will definitely need fixing using my patented hot tea technique. And then we've got more with pizza for the eventual pizza store, though we do now have a pizza one attached to obviously the jazz club, and the skate shop that is part of our mall, of course. So all very appropriate stickers, but well, it doesn't have enough, if you ask me, partially because we've got some spare white brick around, well, 3 of these sides in between the gaps of these ones, but also because, well, one of my bugbears is that it doesn't have a number plate. So the first thing I'm going to do is just get a spare pair of number plate stickers. These are from, golly, let's see if I can remember what set these are from. Yes, 60118. Actually, that was the garbage truck from 2016. I've already got a different garbage truck, so I know, having bought these, that I'll never be introducing that vehicle into my city, so it's safe to use those. So I'm going to move those stickers, one onto the front and one onto this piece on the back. But I also had another sticker that was going begging that I thought would be really appropriate, that came with the bus station set 60154 from 2017, which was this electric hybrid sticker. So maybe these buses are a bit down at heel, but maybe they are actually hybrids, so actually really good for the environment. Now we've got a flash of green on there, but I don't really mind that. So I think I'll either have that above the number plate on the back there, or maybe below it there, but that can also go on that same piece. So that'll make it slightly better. And then just to raise its game even more, I'm just going to take these clunky 1x1 handles off and replace them with tiles, because I think that'll just make it look a little bit better, as long as I don't push through one of these doors. There we go. That's nicer. I think you'll agree. And then another thing is that something that's definitely missing from this set, given it's got a nice sort of rail on that middle section, is that it doesn't have rails underneath the front door or the back bit. And you can just see it's almost begging for that. Out the back, it's got all the other plates in there, but not that. It's almost like they had to remove it last minute due to a number of pieces in the set or something like that. So there you go. There's it with, and there's it without. And oh yeah, no contest at all. So I'm gonna put that on there, there and there. Cool. So I'll get some stickers onto the front and back to make that right. Then we've really got to think about the adverts. Now this is where my second bus comes in, and this one I've done in exactly the same way, adding bits here, the tiles there, and I've actually added on the number plate. This one's from that bus station set 60154, and there it is on the back with the hybrid sticker and the number plate, and I think you'll agree that is a great improvement. So we've got two buses for our bus station, which is about right. Yeah. There's a rough mock-up of how it's going to look. I did consider all sorts of different sort of footprints for this, actually. I did consider, first of all, doing a 2 base plate bus station and using even those really old chevron base plates, if you remember those, sort of back-to-back, a pair that would be the ones used in Metro Park and Service Tower, set 6394, all the way back in 1988. I think that would be really good because it's kind of got a what would it be, V-shaped sort of road thing that you'd put next to another V-shape, and it would almost be like they had a turning circle and could sort of turn around and go back out again. But I don't know, they were quite hard to get hold of and it just didn't look big enough. Also, it took up too much space in my city. Then I moved to a 1.5 base plate version of what I'm going to be doing today, with 3 buses, or maybe 2 with sort of a vacant bay in the middle, and thought, I don't know if that's right either. So I've gone for condensing space, achieving maximum density as per my usual design rules, and I'm going to have 2 buses on 1 base plate. So yeah, let's see how that goes. So one thing I now have to do is fiddle with all of the stickers using my patented hot tea technique to do a couple of things. One is to change the number, because both of them now are number 244. They both came with this sticker in a different position. I think that one's better with it nearer the front door than back here. I don't know, I'm not really minding it being an either, but the fact is it's in a different position on each one, so I don't like that. So what I want to do is make one of them number 244 and maybe one of them just number 44 or number 4 or something like that. So I'll do some minor sticker surgery on both of those, make these 2 bits consistent, and then I can bring in some more adverts to really fill in all of these gaps, because they're far too white on that band. And I've been looking through my entire brick collection and I've got all sorts of possibilities. So these are the ones I'm going to play with. Here we go. So the big brick separator one, which is the film that's being premiered at my Palace Cinema, and the Now's the Time to Visit tourist one, are both from the London bus set, which is 40220. From 2016, and they're really good stickers. As you can see, I've been buying them every time I see them, so they could go on this white background very well. I got 2 of the spare numbers just in case I wanted to go for a slightly different number, so maybe I could go just move the 4 to the other side and make 424 or something like that, and even have a number, well, there and there or something. I don't know. I'll have to play around with that. This cool drinks one's quite nice. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it here or use it on a drinks machine, because I think it might be better used in a vending machine sort of setup, or even on a store window or something like that, where you'd be more likely to be buying cool drinks. But that is from the Power Miner set, actually. 8191 Lava Traz from 2010, where they actually have a little drinks machine at the top left there. I've got some Gravity Games ones, which I might save for a skate park, because I am planning to do a skate park. But where, Robin? You haven't got any space. I'm thinking of squeezing it in somewhere silly. They came in the 3535 Skateboard Street Park from 2003. And then I've just got one of these bike shop ones, advertising the bike shop that's on Old Market Square in my city. And that came from the 600's 26 Town Square set from 2013. Where that bike shop came from, indeed. And that was already on a bus. That was on the red bus that came in that set. So yeah, I've got absolutely loads to play with. I'm sort of thinking, by the time I've got a brick separator, and now's the time to visit, got something on the back of each of these, then it'll probably be absolutely full, and I can keep these ones for another use. But yeah, we'll have to see. So yeah, a lot of sticking to get done, but I really like these buses. I really like the fact that you've got this sort of lower section on here with these sort of vent pieces, and obviously it's accessible via these 2 removable panels. So they are pretty cool buses, and it gives me lots of opportunities to get new arrivals into Brick Nottingham. Maybe one will be full of a troop of Boy Scouts or something like that, and maybe the other will be unloading loads of people in costumes for the Comic-Con. Who knows? Right, let's get some hot tea on and let's get re-sticking. Well, the best thing about moving stickers with hot tea is that you get to drink the hot tea afterwards, and that's a real treat. And I recommend this mug for moving stickers because it is extra good at it and is available in my merch store. The video on how to do it in great detail is available on my tutorials playlist as well. Be careful though, kids. Hot tea is hot, hence the name. So anyway, that is that used, and here is the results of all of our work. We've got the number and number plate on the front, and the electric hybrid and number plate on the back of both of them, so they match and will look really good when lined up. And then we've got the same adverts all the way around, but in completely different order. So we've got the 244, Transport, Cool Drinks, Skate, Octane, Brick Separator, Pizza, and Now's the Time to Visit. And on this one we've got 424, Skate Shop, Brick Separator, Pizza, Now's the Time to Visit, Octane, Transport, and Cool Drinks. So basically, whichever way you look at them or whichever way they're lined up, it should be quite different, but, well, similar. So that's good. Now, the hardest bit was actually chopping up the 244 sticker to make 424, and it was very easy on the front of the bus where it's on a black brick, because I just chopped off the 4 off one end, trimmed the edges, and put the 2 halves next to each other again. Looks very good. But on the side one, it was a lot harder because it's on a white brick. You've kind of got a black band, then the number, then 24, and then another black band. So it's actually made up of 4 stickers. The end, the 4 that was on the right, the 24, and then the other end. So you can probably see really close up that that is actually 4 stickers. I've tried to align them as best I can. I think the one on the extreme right is slightly too low. Anyway, from any distance, it looks absolutely indistinguishable. I think you'll agree. So we've got the 244 and the 424 in the bus station, and the fact that they're just using 2 different numerals is a bit suspicious perhaps, but you really wouldn't know that one had been modified from the other. Different number plates, all good. So I'm really happy with all of that sticker moving. Now we can get onto our actual bus station on this base plate. Now, the thing to remember with this is that it is going to overhang a road section because it's on a corner of road. So there'll be 6 studs here to use and 6 studs here to use. So I'm going to try and sort of expand right up to the edge of both of those as well, and even a 6x6 patch kind of on the corner of the road there as well. So yeah, so what I want to do is think about the perspective that I could put these in on, because you could have them just sort of parked up like this, and then even have space for a third one that isn't actually in at the moment. But I thought it'd be much more interesting, rather than having everything on right angles, if they came in kind of diagonally like that, which means I've only got room for two because I need them to both sort of fit fully on the base plate. But I think that's just a much more interesting perspective from the first standing hole, with the Grand Emporium sort of coming up here, if you see what I mean, and the hospital here. So basically, if we're going to do that, because I have converted these already, so therefore left-hand drive roads, so the doors are all on the left as well. Basically, I'd want to be able to get on it from here, or on this one from here. So what I thought I'd do is have sort of a raised platform along here with some bits that kind of jut out using wedge plates at a diagonal angle, and that'll align with the door of each of these buses that's on a diagonal angle as well. And I think that'll make it look a lot more organic, and less like everything's completely, straight on the whole time. So that's what I'm going to focus on first. And if I do that 2 studs high, I can have the top wedge plates kind of overhanging tiles, and then that will mean that essentially the join is perfect, and I won't need to worry too much about triangular tiles, though I do have a great big bag of triangular tiles for putting some stripes in afterwards. Right, let's get on with that raised section first, and see how that looks. Alright, so this is what I've come up with, and it's just a straightforward platform made out of mainly dark bluish grey normal plates, but also some wedge plates as well to give it this angle with this cross section. And I figure that these are kind of the buffers that a bus would go up to, or at least markers that they go near to, and then there'd be one more wedge plate on top, which acts as kind of a step to get into that door for each of them. So essentially they'll pull in like that, and then like that, and then when the door opens, if I can get it open past the wing mirror, then they're perfectly aligned for getting on. So that sounds pretty good to me. So if I bring in my base plate now, I can put that, and this is what I was talking about, over the tiles, so the tiles can go into this sort of recess here in both cases, and it will look absolutely seamless when it's on. So I'll just push that down. To push it down a bit more, probably off camera, or it will shake everything around if it hasn't already. And as I said before, that bit will go onto the 6 studs that are on the side of the road plate, so we needn't worry about that. There'll actually be 2 there, so either pedestrians can step up and go over it, or just go around the outside. But that is the beginning of our bays, and then we can have some sort of raised elements here up against the side of what will be the hospital here. So now I want to add some patterning onto the actual base plate itself, because when I was considering those printed chevron base plates, obviously they had loads of lines on to show the buses where to go and so on, but these don't. So instead I'm going to use lots and lots of triangle tiles, and I'm going to use dark bluish grey, yellow and light bluish grey, and the light bluish grey is going to be where the buses are supposed to go, and the dark bluish grey around the edges is, well, where they're not supposed to go. So effectively I can do some nice diagonal striping, kind of similarly to how I did on my airport, but much more pronounced like that. So that is the beginning of one bay. And if I just start the beginning of the next one, I'm going to have to do a lot of this, which is why I've got a huge bag of these pieces. Let's see, how's this one go? It must go like, get it right, there we go. Get it right, Robin, come on. Like that. And then the gaps, obviously, in between all of these will be filled with just regular square tiles. So there's the beginning of the second one. And then a third one, third line will go like that. So it'll be right up against the... how does this one go? There we go. Yeah, it'll be like that. And that'll have dark on the outside. So that'll be the beginning of the dark just coming in. And there we go. So I'm going to have to do these 3 lines quite a bit out, probably up to about here, here, and well, onto that side of the adjacent base plate. So when the bus comes in, he knows exactly where he's supposed to go and can park right up on there and on there. And the yellow should be visible between the buses and on each side. So that is what I'm going to have to do next, filling this base plate. Ho ho ho, there we go. Look at that. Looks lovely. Now I'll fill in all of this in the real life road plate that's upstairs in the Lego room when I get to it. I just couldn't be bothered to put them all on here and then take them all off again. And indeed this will extend a little bit further onto that base plate, so we've got a seamless line there. I think I'll bring this dark grey back in as a sort of big triangle here, but you see I've extended it from the end of the yellow line just to make a pleasing shape. I like that. I've also added 2 drains. We won't see those at all because they'll be covered with buses, but I kind of like details that you just kind of know are there, even though they won't be seen at all times. And you never know, we might have one of the buses on our roads, so they can go straight in like that, and you start to see how it's going to look. Oh yes, very nice indeed with those lines in between them. And I think there's plenty of space here on this dark grey area for some street furniture, or maybe another underground entrance or something like that. Whether it's 3D or not will very much depend on the table situation underneath this exact spot. But yeah, looking good. I'm not sure if I can show you much more around here because of where the camera's mounted, but there you go. Looking pretty good. Yes. Right, so buses to one side for now, because we're going to build the kind of basic, I suppose, bus shelter bit. They're very basic usually in the UK, just enough to keep the rain off your head. And the first thing I thought I'd do was make a little map. So I'm using this 1x4 with a sticker on from the cargo train that I had excess left over with the sort of Lego transport sign. So that came from 7939 cargo train from 2010 on the front of the locomotive there. A bit of a green band just to match the kind of green band that's on the hybrid electric bit. Then I've got a route map, and this particular one was in 2 sets, 7897 and 7997, passenger train from 2006 and train station from 2007 respectively. So that's quite a nice little setup for a map, and I guess I'll put that about, I don't know, there. Then I want to do a similar setup here with some modified bricks on, so I can add some tiles on the sides. And I've got a green one with tickets on and the ticket machine kind of front bit. So those 2 stickers are both from the tram set 60097 city centre. So that is really nice. I just had one more set left over. So basically, yeah, I thought I'd use it here, and on different coloured bricks. I think it looks really good. So we'll put that about there. Probably have to shuffle those in a minute. Then I wanted some columns, so I'm just going to go with these. These are the old school ones of the one piece you're probably quite familiar with. It's just got a very flat back, but that will go against the wall of the hospital. So I'm going to put that there. In fact, I need to move that a bit. Then I can put one there. So I need to move that a bit. And then I've got one for the middle as well, and they've each got a bus stop sign on it. And this particular one I've been collecting. It came with the airport passenger terminal 60104 from 2016, which is the passenger terminal that I've converted into my airport. So yeah, that's really good as well. So looking very bus stationy now. Then we need a roof, and the bit that I had lots of left over was these sort of glass pieces from when I did that second tram. Basically, I got some of these in case I didn't have enough, and then the ones that came with it were quite good condition. So basically, well, I've got excess. So now I've got 2 kind of setups that almost look a bit like sides of that tram, but I'm going to be using them as roof pieces, and I've just got them sort of connected on there with some tiles and some curved slopes just to make it a bit prettier with a curve on the end. So I can put one on there, one on there, and then join the whole caboodle together with that to make it complete. And there we go. It's quite a simple awning, but I mean, it's very bright and very kind of interestingly shaped. So I really like it. Tell me what you think. So the final thing then is just to put our buses in for the last time, well, before moving it all upstairs. and cover up those drain covers, and there we go. A big splash of interestingly shaped, multiply stickered yellow bits. So yeah, I'm thinking that'll look really good in its place, especially when we finish tiling all of this edge and indeed this edge, and well, another day perhaps, a subway station stop on there. Yeah, I'm really liking that. Well, back in the Lego room, and I've got the base plate in position. It's a bit of a pain reaching over this helicopter that's attached to the hospital roof, but you can see it all in there. And it looks rather smart if you ask me. Still got the buses to add, of course, and the overhead bit to keep the rain off our minifigures. Not that it ever rains in Brick Nottingham, but it looks really nice through this gap here, I think you'll agree. And let's have a quick peer at it from the road perspective. Yeah, I think that's going to look really good from pretty much anywhere. So yeah, happy with that so far. Let's get the buses. Well, I think this has turned out rather well, I must say. For a kind of low-rise bit in between two very tall buildings, it's worked great. I love the fact that we can see both of the fronts through this little gap in the cutaway of the standing hole. Oh, the doors open invitingly, so you can get on board after looking at the map and buying your tickets. And then we've got the overhead bit, which is an interesting shape, even if it is a bit similar to the tram sides elsewhere in the city. And those stripes in the tile layer look really good. Very sharp point it comes to there on the end of the dark grey. And I've even managed to get in a couple of tread plate stickers, one either side of the kind of raised bit in the pavement that goes from the ambulance entrance into the rest of it. And the back end of that bus doesn't hang out too much, so yeah, I think we're all right. Looks pretty good. But I think we'll get a better view from the first standing hole, so maybe we should go over there. Well, no, I think the best view is from the door into the Lego room. We can see those buses and the bus station very well indeed, and that lovely triangle of dark grey. I like that, blending into the normal pavement. So yeah, a good flash of colour, I think you'll agree. It doesn't really interfere with either our view of the modular run there or the hospital itself. I think we can still get light into all of those windows and those lovely scenes. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. It is quite hard to see close up, but there are always going to be bits of my city that is the case with. And I kind of like that because it means that you discover something new every time you look in a slightly different way. So yeah, do tell me what you think of that. So as always, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome LEGO videos. And if you value this channel, there are many ways in which you can support it. Do check out the links in the description below. And next time on Robin Hood Bricks, it will be Monday, and I think I might be doing something in the cabinet because I'm quite excited about expanding our deep sea adventures. And then on Wednesday, Brick Hall. And then Friday, well, maybe we'll get back to our fairground, which is going good guns. So, yeah, until all of that, see you! Now, I just need to get some people into this scene to make it even more interesting.